Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. I'm just here today to tell you that the God of Highschool Anime is going to be hype. So that's it guys, thanks for watching. Okay, you got. Now let's go over why without spoiling anything major of the story. If you're new here and enjoy the God of Highschool manhwa or anime when it starts airing, make sure to subscribe to this channel as I plan to do much more content on the manhwa and the anime when it starts airing, so stay tuned for that. Let me know some ideas or wanted videos about the God of Highschool you want me to cover. I got a brief list of what I'm going to be covering already that I have written down. Just let me know some other cool little video ideas, and if you want to talk more about its greatness, make sure to join my Discord. Link is in the description. Depending on how many episodes the anime season will have, it could be even more great than what I first initially thought it would be. Based on the trailer and some key visuals released by Crunchyroll, it will most likely cover around the first 100 chapters or episodes they're called on webtoons or for manhwa. With that amount of content, I'm reaching for around 24 episodes to cover most things and to do it well. If it's like 13 episodes such as how Tower of God went, they may not cover much of the side stuff and the explanations, so most likely the fights will be the main feature alongside the underlying plots. The basis of the story is it all begins as a fighting tournament to seek out the best fighter among all high school students in Korea. Mori Jin, our protagonist, is a taekwondo specialist and a high school student. Soon learns that there's something much greater beneath the stage of the tournament. That's what the underlying plot that I was mentioning there. The genres include action, comedy, martial arts, which will be evident from the start of the anime and will continue to add to the foundation of the story as it continues. Most likely about halfway through the season, the introduction of supernatural and fantasy elements will become evident for the rest of the story, with a strong martial arts base very evident throughout the whole story and the main basis of the fighting throughout the story. The highlights of the manhwa is 100% the fight. Some side and explanation elements aren't the best, and if they go down the more fast-paced route, not covering everything that the manhwa presented in the anime, it could also turn out to be great with the removal of some of those things, which would be pretty cool, with only having the major fight or the fight and the underlying or side plot which turns into the main plot as the story progresses being the main elements of the story, which could be very good for the anime adaptation of it as well. The animation studio that is working on the God of Highschool is pretty well. The name of the studio is Studio Mappa. They've worked on a variety of anime. I'll put some up on screen that I've seen and can vouch for their quality being good. But the only issue the studio might have for the quality of the God of Highschool is that they're kind of working on a lot of anime during this year. One anime that may not be coming out this year, probably the start of next year, is the final season of Attack on Titan, which Studio Mappa will be working on. You would think they'll put more of their effort into working on that, so that may lead to many of the other anime they're working on lacking in when it comes to animation and quality. And apart from that, they're still working on some other anime during this year as well, so that may cause issues for the animation quality and how good the God of Highschool anime adaptation could truly be. But as a whole, Studio Mappa, solid studio, above average, better than most, so I believe in them supplying the greatness for the anime. The characters in the story are good and play a major role, especially the main 3 to 4 characters that we see throughout the story. They play a major role. We get to learn backstories, development for each of the characters throughout the story, so it's a strong character development basis around the story alongside the overlying plot and the pretty much fights as a whole. The protagonist is my favorite character that I've seen thus far in the manga around manhwa chapter 200 or so. I'll talk about the manhwa in soon time, but yeah, it's very rare for the protagonist to be my favorite character in many series. I don't have many series where the protagonist ends up being my favorite character. Some that I can name directly off my head right now is Code Geass, with Lelouch being my favorite character, and the likes of Berserk with Guts, and that's really all I can think of at the top of my head right now. So with him being my favorite protagonist or favorite character during the story, that's a good sign of its greatness. The art for the manhwa is very solid, with it currently being up to 469 English translated chapters or episodes they're called. So that's very good. There's a lot more content for like 2 or 3 or 4 more seasons depending on the pace if this does go well and they do adapt more to the story, which would be hype. The art of the manhwa is very good as well, strong at showing the impact of the punches, and based on how the trailer looked going back into Studio Mappa, it looks to be done very well, especially the fight scenes. I don't really mind if they go a lower end or lower budget, less quality for the explanation elements of the story or many of the side stuff, so long they keep the fights as great as they look in the manhwa and make it even better in the anime adaptation, that'll be a solid thing, and I'll be very pleased with that. So looking at the success of Tower of God, another Crunchyroll original manhwa anime that they've came out with recently last season, I watched that. I hadn't read the Tower of God manhwa whatsoever, and I feel like they handled I've only seen the first 12 episodes. The 13 episodes comes out next week, I believe. So I've been watching that. I've been really enjoying it, and I think they handled that well. And they tended to go down a path trying to grab how the quality of the manhwa or the way the manhwa looked and implementing it into the anime style. So if they do that for God of High School as well, that'll be pretty cool. But even if they don't, I don't mind. God of High School is still great. But I just hope they spend a lot of time and the fight scenes really do live up to their greatness that they do in the manhwa. That's my main real concern for the series. And pretty much that's it for the non-spoiler stuff I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So if you haven't read the manhwa whatsoever, probably click off the video now. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more God of High School videos. So now on to the spoiler stuff. So make sure if you don't want to get spoiled, make sure to click off. So for the arc that the story will most likely cover, there's a preliminaries arc which goes from chapter 1 to 41. That will most likely be the first, I'm going to assume, I'll go over whether it will be 12 episodes or 13 episodes. So chapter 1 to 41 will probably be the first 4 episodes. And then after that we have the Nationals arc, which is chapter 42 to 96. That'll probably be the next 4 episodes after that. Or maybe even 5 episodes, because that's a longer portion of episodes to get through. And then the final arc, where it may end in the middle of this arc or may cover the whole arc, is known as the God's Arrival arc, which goes from chapter 97 to 112, and it ends with pretty much our protagonist getting pretty much we knowing who he really is and his relation to God and everything we know about that, with going into details. I'm planning to work on other videos surrounding all those topics, but that will most likely what it will cover. But I hope it's going to be around 24 episodes. We'll get like 6, maybe 8, or maybe even 10 for the Nationals arc, and then maybe the last 3 or so. The God's Arrival arc is a lot shorter, and it pretty much links straight into the Nationals arc, or transitions very smoothly from the Nationals to the God's Arrival arc. So that transition is pretty smooth. So hopefully the maybe first about 35 to 40% will be the preliminaries arc, and then the rest of it will be the Nationals and the God Arrival arc. And it's also good to mention while thinking about this, it may not even cover up to the God's Arrival arc. This is only based on what I saw in the trailer and a key visual, especially with the key visual, which I don't think they would release that if they're not going to cover that in the anime. They may end with the pretty much arrival of the god that we all know of, one of the greatest moments in the series in my opinion. So hopefully we do get up to that point. But if it does not cover that, it may only cover up to the Nationals arc, and based off the trailer, it'll definitely cover near the end of the Nationals arc. So it may just end near the start of the God's Arrival arc. Now for the rest of the video, I'm just going to be going over some video ideas I've already covered. So let me know some other God of High School video ideas you want me to cover. I'm going to be reviewing each major arc throughout the series, all the way into pretty much the current arcs that are going on, such as after that we have the Sage Realm arc, Second Great War arc, Consolation Match arc, World Tournament arc, and all the arcs after that. I will be doing character profile videos, so talking about each of the characters. I'll most likely be doing power ranking videos. I'll probably be reviewing each episode one by one as they come out, so stay tuned for that. And then some other little cool things such as like explaining powers, the god abilities. So let me know what other types of God of High School videos you want me to make. And that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, subscribe, and that's it, guys. Peace.